Like a tiny seed growing into a great, sprawling tree, the English language and its stories have changed in ways that are almost impossible to imagine. The words we use today are connected by a long, unbroken thread to the very first tales told on the misty shores of ancient Britain. This journey is not just about how words changed, but about how people saw the world, what they feared, what they loved, what they hoped for. To understand this incredible evolution, we will walk through time, stopping in different eras. Think of it as a guided tour through a vast library where each room holds a different century. Long before England was a single, unified country, great courage, fearsome monsters, the grim reality of fate, their language, Old English, a Germanic tongue full of hard sounds and a driving rhythm, recited aloud in smoky mead halls. The most famous work, Beowulf, author unknown, a mysterious voice from the past. A mighty Geatish warrior travels to Denmark to defeat Grendel, a monstrous terror. Another key text, The Seafarer, a melancholic reflection on life at sea. Harsh winter sailing, loneliness, constant danger, yet an irresistible pull to the ocean, built on alliteration, repeated initial sounds. Example, Grendel gongen, Grendel going. A dark, dangerous world, yet these stories found light and meaning, the heroic foundation of courage and poetry. The Norman conquest of 1066 changed everything. French-speaking rulers took control. French became the language of power, Latin of law and letters. Old English receded to the common people. Over centuries it blended with Norman French, creating Middle English, richer, softer, more flexible. The towering figure, Geoffrey Chaucer, his masterpiece, The Canterbury Tales, gathers pilgrims from all walks of life, a knight, a miller, a nun, a merchant, telling tales on the road to Canterbury. Chaucer wrote in English, the language of the people, proving its power and subtlety. Sir Gawain and the Green Knight, the alliterative revival fused older English sound with courtly chivalry and romance. It tests virtue and honour, exploring human imperfection. One Nat Aprila with his showers suit, when April with its sweet showers. Writers raised individual characters with unique voices and flaws, stories of everyday, comical, beautiful life. Why it matters. This period gave English its voice back, filled with stories about all kinds of people, not just kings or heroes. The Renaissance, a rebirth of art, science, and literature. The printing press spread ideas like wildfire. Looking back to Greece and Rome, fueled a flowering of poetry and drama in England. William Shakespeare defines the era, mastering language and human nature, drawing all classes to the globe, from Hamlet and Macbeth to A Midsummer Night's Dream, love, jealousy, ambition, despair, and joy. The sonnet flourished, Wyatt introduced it, Shakespeare perfected it. John Donne's metaphysical poetry used daring conceits, binding the sacred to the everyday with wit and passion. But soft, what light through yonder window breaks? The era's lyrical beauty. Writers believed words could create worlds and probe the soul, shifting battles from fields to the mind and heart. Why it matters? This era gave us the greatest writer in English and proved plays and poems can explore life's deepest truths. After Civil War and Restoration came the Age of Reason, valuing logic, order, and clarity. Coffee houses became hubs. Literature turned witty, satirical, public-minded. Swift's Gulliver's Travels uses fantasy to skewer corruption, arrogance, and human pride. Satire wielded reason to expose unreason. A brand new form emerged, the novel. Defoe and Richardson told realistic stories of ordinary lives. Robinson Crusoe presented a true account of ingenuity, self-reliance, and perseverance. Prose prized precision and balance. To err is human, to forgive divine. Why it matters. Satire as social critique, and the invention of the modern novel. The Romantics celebrating nature, emotion, the individual, a reaction to reason fueled by revolution. They centered imagination and inner life. It began with lyrical ballads by Wordsworth and Coleridge. Wordsworth wrote in the real language of men, finding spiritual meaning in nature. Gothic Romanticism, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, probes ambition, isolation, and what it means to be human. Romantic language is passionate, expressive, rich with nature. A thing of beauty is a joy forever. Heroes were lonely outcasts or rebellious spirits. Originality and inspiration reigned. Why it matters. Romanticism put feeling and imagination at the center, renewing our awe of nature. The Victorian era, novels as big as the British Empire, a time of change and contradiction. Industry, expansion, crowded cities, immense wealth for some, grinding poverty for others. Outward confidence and duty mask deep anxieties about faith and dehumanizing labor. Charles Dickens serialized stories like Oliver Twist and Great Expectations, becoming a superstar. He created unforgettable characters and exposed poverty, legal corruption, and hypocrisy. The Brontes brought fierce interiority. Jane Eyre insists on worth and independence. Victorian prose is elaborate and descriptive, moral, expansive, society-spanning. It was the best of times, it was the worst of times, the era in a line. Why it matters. The Victorian novel mirrored a changing society and fought for social justice. Modernism. A new century, a new way of telling stories. Science, psychology, philosophy. Then World War I shattered certainty. Virginia Woolf pioneered stream of consciousness, plunging us into thoughts, feelings, memories. In Mrs. Dalloway, the real action is inside the mind. Eliot's The Wasteland collages fragments and voices to capture post-war disillusion. These fragments I have shored against my ruins. Readers piece meaning together. Why it matters. Modernism shattered old forms to express alienation, ambiguity, and the complexity of reality. Contemporary literature, a world of diverse voices and endless stories. After 1945, humanity faced new moral questions amid global change and decolonization. Civil rights, feminism, and LGBTQ+ rights brought new perspectives to the mainstream. Technology reshaped how we create and consume stories, post-colonial voices wrote back. Achebe's Things Fall Apart reclaimed histories in a global conversation. Postmodern playfulness questions grand narratives. Zadie Smith captures multicultural London with wit and energy. Between my finger and my thumb, the squat pen rests, writing linked to roots and identity. Why it matters. Today, English literature is a global chorus, reflecting the complex world we share.